What's up, everyone? Welcome back to BKNY Hoops. If you're new to the channel, I am your host, as always, Rashid White. All right, let's get into it over here. This article comes from Clutch Points, and it's talking about 5 Brooklyn Nets players that could be potentially on the move. Now, you actually see the people there, the players in there in the thumbnail that could potentially be on the move, and it's going to really kind of anger some people, and some people may, make them extremely excited though. But let's get into this over here. So the Brooklyn Nets season, last season was a roller coaster ride. I'll definitely agree with that. So let me say this comes from Clutch Points over here. Now this is the same people that actually said that they should trade Ben Simmons because he's going to take away playing time from Dennis Smith Jr. and Cam Johnson or something like that, man. It's just like the worst article I've ever read over here, man. But let's actually get into it over here. All right, so let's get right into it. The first player over here that could be moved is Ben Simmons. So it says Ben Simmons had an uneven and most disappointing season in 2022-2023, which can make him a potential trade candidate for the Brooklyn Nets. While Simmons is a talented player, his struggles with shooting and offensive consistency have been well documented. The Nets may have to look to trade him to acquire a player who can provide more scoring and offensive versatility, complementing Bridges and Johnson. All right, so let's get into that real quick over there, man. All right, so Ben Simmons, like I said in the last video when we was kind of clowning Dreamers Pro, Ben Simmons can actually score, but sometimes it may not lead to wins. You have to use your team. What makes LeBron James actually so special? Because everybody's always comparing Ben Simmons to LeBron James. LeBron James actually uses his team. There's a reason why LeBron James was actually able to take that 07-08 Cleveland Cavaliers team to the NBA Finals right there, okay? Because I said this, like I said, I've been playing basketball for a long time. I'm not just saying this just to say this. If you get a guy, like you say, that can actually bring some more offensive consistency, that means other players are not going to actually touch the basketball, okay? So when other players don't actually touch the basketball, mentally, they're not going to be into it. Especially like if you're a big guy, if you don't get no touches. You're not going to want to play defense. And it's just not... And so like I'm trying to figure out the... like I said, it's like you want to touch... you're in there to play. You want to touch the basketball. You want to actually, feel like you're part of the game. If and you're not going to do that if you get a player, let's say you bring Dame in or somebody like that. I get what they're actually saying, but you got to also understand too, guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, not everybody in the NBA is a Devin Booker. So there's not a lot of guys or Kyrie Irving or something like that. It's not a lot, Kevin Durant. There's not a lot of players that can actually go out there and get to the rim in 2-3 dribbles, like let's say like Pascal Siakam or something like that, Giannis, and he can get to the rim at will and has the athleticism. There's not a lot of guys in the NBA that can actually do that, okay? There's only a certain breed of players that can do that. So you need a player like Ben or like a Chris Paul, Rajon Rondo, Jason Kidd, those kind of guys that can actually put those guys in great position to actually score, all right? So when you had Joe Harris over here, he's not going to be able just to cross somebody up and finish over plays. He needs to be put into the best position, like like whatever his strengths are. Like if it's Nick Claxton, trying to actually, let's say, collapse the defense, and then you can get a lob pass off. All right, so let's get to number 2 over here, Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton is another player who could be on the move for the Nets. He has shown promise as a young and athletic big man. He has even improved his numbers over 4 NBA seasons. The Nets can use Claxton, expecting more improved performances. However, his near double-double numbers from last season also makes him a very strong trade piece. Again, remember that nobody's really untouchable here, and the Nets are looking to rebuild for the future. All right, so yeah, yes and no. But I mean, Nick Claxton is extremely valuable, man. I mean, you see all the screens that these teams actually run, and Nick Claxton can get switched on to, like, let's say a John Morant, and Nick Claxton is able to really move his feet. And I'm not gonna say he's gonna guard John Morant. I mean, but he can actually somewhat mess up his efficiency. So you saw like there was a clip I was watching with John Morant highlights, and there was like 10 times Andre Drummond got switched on to like John Morant. And John Morant, I think he went like 10 out of 11 or something like that, man. It was just like back to back to back. And so when you have Nick Claxton in that scenario, I mean, he can go like, let's say 5 out of 11. I mean, it won't be like his eyes won't light up, and he won't have like a field day, a fest. All right, so yeah, Nick Claxton, and the thing is, like I said, you got to look at the regular season, and you got to look at the playoffs. Now, Nick Claxton is a great regular season player, but he has to work on his free throw shooting. I don't think he's going to. I mean, are you willing to pay him like $100-something million? And he hasn't made an all-star team yet. That's the whole thing. And I love Nick Claxton. I mean, like I said, he could finish, he could protect the rim. He's great at actually moving his feet. Like I say, but I mean, he has to go against like guys like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid. There's other bigs out there, man. Jakob Poeltl now in the East. Let's see what Toronto actually does. And I don't know. It's hard, but he is a fan favorite of the Brooklyn Nets. A lot of fans are really emotionally attached to Nick Claxton there. So I don't think the Brooklyn Nets will actually trade him. I hope they don't actually trade him. But with with Sean Marks, yeah, you never know. I mean, this man is so unpredictable. You don't know what the hell he's going to do. So Spencer Dinwiddie, of course, he's also been a subject of trade rumors in the past. While Dinwiddie's a talented player, his role in the team will be diminished due to the expected focus on Bridges and Johnson. All right, so Johnson is not a type of guy you're going to run your offense through. He's like I say, a better version of Joe Harris. He's there to actually space the floor and play some defense. He's a 3-and-D guy. As such, the Nets may look to trade Dinwiddie to acquire more assets that will enable them to jumpstart their rebuild. I don't know if this is a rebuild or not. I mean, I like the Brooklyn Nets team on paper right here. Again, like I said, if there's a lot of teams are not going to be able to go like heavy isolation on the Brooklyn Nets. So if you have Kevin Durant, let's say you had KD and Kyrie on one team, that your turn, my turn basketball is not going to really work on the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, all guys have length. They can guard. And you're going to actually have to move the basketball. It's going to have to be beating the Brooklyn Nets is going to actually have to be by committee. And it's not going to be one guy that's going to actually do it. Royce O'Neal is number 4. Royce O'Neal was a key addition for the Nets in 2022-23. His future with the team is uncertain. O'Neal is known for his defensive prowess and three-point shooting, but the Nets may look to trade him to acquire a player who can provide even more scoring, offensive versatility. If they can trade O'Neal for picks, his departure could open up more playing time for other players on the roster, and allow the Nets to acquire more building blocks for the future. Yeah. Definitely. I think we will see in the preseason. The preseason with like the new guys that the Brooklyn Nets actually picked up, Baisley, all these guys. O'Neal. I mean. If he can actually just become like a 38 to like the 39% point 3-point shooter, I would say keep him. But yeah, I mean, if they trade him, I mean, I don't think he will actually be missed. So Dorian Finney-Smith is the last. Dorian Finney-Smith is another player who could be on the move for the Nets. Sure, Finney-Smith is a solid role player. However, the Nets may look to trade him to acquire a player who can complement Bridges and Johnson. Man, I'm telling you, man. I mean, Finney-Smith's departure could open up more playing time for other players on the roster, allow the Nets to develop their young talent. All right, so I'm not sure if this is actually a rebuild right over here. Ben Simmons and Mikal Bridges are really their best players right there. Ben Simmons is a 3-time All-Star. Now you got, you know, All-Star players, and then you have All-Star caliber players. And Mikal Bridges actually shown to be like an All-Star caliber player. So I mean, he's a player that opposing coaches have to game plan for, and but the other guys, I don't know. We'll see. So looking ahead, as the Brooklyn Nets enter to the 23-24 NBA training camp, these players include Simmons, Claxton, Dinwiddie, O'Neal, Finney-Smith. Well, the Nets still made it to the playoffs in 2022-23. There are areas of improvements that they need to address to compete for a championship by making strategic trades. The Nets can acquire the necessary pieces to complement the skills of Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. All right, so Clutch Points is actually really saying that I guess Cam Johnson is that guy. I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I wish. I mean, the best thing what got Cam Johnson into the NBA is his ability to actually shoot. His ball handling, it's okay. It's not great. I haven't seen him like make really kind of high percentage passes. I got to really look more at his game. But in Phoenix though, in Phoenix he had some really good games. 29, 30 something points. It's more like what do you call it? Like let's say of a poor man's Klay Thompson. That's what I really kind of think of Cam Johnson right there. He's not like a number 1. He's not a number 2. He's a number 3. So I like the big 3 that we actually have of Ben Simmons. I don't know why would you want to get rid of a guy who can guard 1 through 5, who can, like I said, even like last year, Ben Simmons was a plus 40. You know, the team actually functions better when he's actually on the court. The ball moves. There's no sticking. There's no holding of the basketball. Like when you see James Harden, there can be guys wide open and he'll still hold the basketball. Like you see guys with Kobe, like Kobe Bryant. They'll be like they can be up like 14, 15 points. There's a player wide open, and Kobe would still take a tough fadeaway shot with 2 plays draped all over him. You know, Ben Simmons, like guys like LeBron James, they make the pass. Guys really appreciate that. So I'll wrap this video up. Let me know what you actually think about these potential trade moves over here. Do you agree with Clutch Points over here? And they're not saying this is definitive, so especially you Nick Claxton fans over there, you know, this is really just their actual true opinion there. You know, don't take it with a grain of salt. All right, so definitely like, comment, subscribe, certainly share this video, and when you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.